Hello my lovelies, as I promised, I'm going to make a video about Aladdin, the original story of Aladdin, how it was written first in the book of Diyab and Galland. We know that Aladdin was created in 18th century by Syrian Arab and by Frenchmen. They were collecting all the tales of 1001 Nights. However, it wasn't enough to complete the stories, and then Hanna Diyab, he created story Aladdin, and of course he has some similarities with the 1001 Nights tales itself. So story starts in China. For our shock and for my own shock, I discovered something new for myself, because it's absolutely totally different what we get used to imagine how the Aladdin was, right, from where he was. However, nevertheless, the story starts in China. There was a tailor who lived in China. His name was Mustafa. Mustafa, he had a son. Of course, he was married and he had a wife. His son name was Aladdin. Aladdin, he was extremely lazy boy. He doesn't like to do anything. He didn't like to do anything. The tailor tried to teach his son some skills, but he refused, and all he do is play outside in the streets all day long. He never read book or he never write. He was big, fat, lazy boy. Here, the author, they put age average. He was around 15 years old. You know, teen part when you don't want to do anything. And anyway, so one day, after all the struggles that he wanted to teach his son to have some skills, the father, he passed away. And the mother, one day she said, Aladdin, see, I cannot work anymore, and I am a woman, and I don't have enough skills, tools to work, to continue. She was also tailor. She was helping her dad, her husband. And she said, I'm going to sell all the silver and all my jewelry in the bazaar, in the market, and we're going to live for that money, but that money still will not be enough. You have to go and try to find the work. For that, Aladdin, he replied, okay, let's say, and whatever. You know, he was so careless. The mother, she went and she sold all the jewelry, what she had, and she bought some food for that. The food wasn't enough, of course. Days pass, months pass, and the money is finished. And she faced her son, and she explained to Aladdin that he has to go work because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Aladdin, again, he didn't pay attention, and he just continued his way to his friends. In one day morning, he was playing at the street as usual with his friends, and passed one person, and he looked very suspicious to Aladdin. He scanned him from up to down, and then he came up to him and he said, are you son of Mustafa, the tailor? And then Aladdin, he was shocked, and then he said, yes. And then he said, I want to see my son. I want to see my brother. And then Aladdin asked him, who are you? And then he said, I'm your uncle. I travel Arabia, I travel Persia, I travel India, I travel Syria, I travel Egypt, and I go far, far, far to Maghreb, to North Africa. And I decided I want to see my family. It's been 40 years I didn't see my family, my dearest brother Mustafa. And then Aladdin for that replied, my dad passed away. And then magician from Maghreb, he started to cry, and he been in a sorrow, and he showed that he is so much upset by hearing this news. And then he said, oh, poor my brother Mustafa, how come you leave me without seeing you? Oh, and then he showed himself that he is in deep, deep sorrow. And then he said to Aladdin, I will, and who will take care about you? And then Aladdin, he said, nobody, just me and my mom. So he asked about his family nicely, this magician. He said, no, only us, me and my mom, we left. He said, oh, my dear son, from my lovely brother, I'm going to give you 3 coins, 3 dinars, and I want to visit you and your mom, and I want to talk, and I want to pray for my lovely brother and visit him and see where he lived. And he gave him 3 golden coins. For that, Aladdin, he got shocked. He grabbed those 3 coins and he rushed away straight away to his house. Once he entered his house, he shouted, mother, mother, I got 3 golden coins. And the mother said, from where you got it? And he said, I have an uncle. And then the mother, she said, how you have an uncle? As I know, your father didn't have any siblings, no brothers, no sisters, same like me. Me also, I don't have any brother or sister. Then he explained what magician explained, that he was 40 years out of the China, and he decided to came back and visit and all the stuff. Then he passed those 3 coins and he said to his mom, you need to go to the market and buy some necessary stuff to prepare the food, and then we're going to invite my uncle to the dinner to know him better. Then mother, she was like very curious, but she didn't believe into the story 100%. She said okay, she gave a chance, and she took those gold coins, 3 gold coins. She went to the market and she bought some necessary items. In the evening she prepared the dinner, and they called magician. Magician, he came with tears in his eyes, the crocodile tears, telling to Aladdin's mother, oh my dear sister, I'm so sorry, my condolences, my brother passed away, and all this stuff. For that, the mother, she looked suspicious up and down to this magician, and he said, you are who? She said, as I know, my husband, he didn't have any siblings. And then he said, no, I'm his sibling, I'm his only brother, you don't know me because I left this country 40 years ago, and so on, continue. And he said, let us have a dinner and we will continue to talk. While they're having a dinner, he asked Aladdin, first he asked his name. Actually, he didn't know his name, and he said, what is your name, my son? And then Aladdin, he replied, my name is Aladdin. And then he said, what do you do, Aladdin? And then Aladdin, he didn't answer for this one. He just looked, he got shy because he couldn't reply, because obviously he was doing anything. And then his mother started, this is the laziest boy I ever had. He don't do anything. His father tried to teach him the skills of tailoring, but he doesn't want to do. All he's just playing with his friend outside. And she continued a long lecture. It's a really big paragraph about the Aladdin behave. And then the magician, he said, oh, not good, Aladdin, not good. You have to know how to work, how to bring money, and how to support you and yourself and your moms. It's not good. And he said, I'm going to help you for that. we're going to tomorrow to market, we're going to dress you up nicely, and we're going to buy for you a shop. For that, Aladdin, he got extremely happy, because this sir, he doesn't like to do anything related to his lovely hands. So he imagined himself like an owner of the shop, sitting and ordering and everything, and he was so much glad. Next morning, magician took Aladdin to the market. They went and they bought a full outfit for the Aladdin from top till down. He looked brilliant. Before that, they went to hammam. They took a bath. You know, you don't put new clothes on the dirty body. Anyway, then they went to the market where all the trading is happening. So he listened. The magician made himself that he's negotiating, buy for him shop, all this stuff. And by the evening, Aladdin, he got so much tired, and he asked his uncle to go back to home. When they go back to home, they sat and they start to talk. And he said, we don't deserve, the mother, she said, dear brother, that my son don't deserve those gifts, what you giving to him, because, you know, I want to thank you from my soul, and let God give you long life, all the stuff, that you dressed him up, that you take him out, that you want him buy a shop and all the stuff. For that, magician he replied, Aladdin is really good boy, and if he listens to me and he follow my orders, I believe we will make it something good of him, we will make something good about him. But he listens, he must to listen to me, and he must to follow my orders, said magician. And next day he said, we're going to meet, and we're going to go somewhere. Next morning, very next morning, it's, you know, within 3 days happening, they went out of the city. They left all the streets, they left all the houses, they left beautiful, here describing the atmosphere of the city, very beautiful, described in the book. If you want to read, you can read, but I'm going to skip this part to make it faster to understand the story, how much the difference between the Disney and the real one. And then when they went to the desert and they went to the cave, under the cave there was some kind of door which is made of the rock, and it has a ring. You know, when you're opening the door, the old style doors, they have a ring to open it like that. But that ring was down, so you open from down to up. But obviously, it's you cannot open it with your, you know, normal power, because obviously the rock door was super heavy. For that, before to found out this door, magician, of course, he make a spell, he throw some powders, and he said something else. Then of course this door appeared, and then he said to Aladdin, open the door. For that, Aladdin, he said, I'm sorry, I'm not that much strong, I cannot open it. And then the magician got so much angry, and he said, why are you not listening to me? I told you, you have to listen to me if you want to be successful, all the stuff. And then Aladdin, he said, whoa, 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 whoa. And he started to be crying, and he said, why are you shouting at me? Why are you shouting at me? And then magician, he said, I'm your uncle. We had agreement that you have to listen to me and follow my orders. And then Aladdin, he said, I cannot open this door. This door is made of rock. It's heavy, dude. I cannot open it. How? What? You cannot imagine. I'm only 15 years old boy. I don't have enough power. I don't have enough muscle, so on. Then he said, don't worry. You just lift the ring up and the door will open by itself in the very easiest manner. You will not even notice that. Earlier than that, Aladdin, he was whining. So the magician, he gave him his ring. And he said, if anything will happen with you, have my ring. Okay, and then Aladdin, he put magician ring, which is we don't have in Disney, this story. Aladdin, he put the ring, and then he went down. Of course, he opened the door in a very easy manner. He was in a shock how he could do this thing, and then he went down. It was a stairs, it was like a circle stairs, and you're going down. Here, the author, they are giving a narration that to find the treasures and all the stuff, it was related to the same era when Europeans, they come to the Egypt and to the Iraq in order to find something treasury. You know, they open all these tombs and they discover gold, so they want to continue, and this is the mania of treasure seeking. It was influenced and it was inspired the author to write it down that he went down in the treasury place. Before he went down, of course, magician, he explained, you're going down and we're going to have a nice treasure and we're going to be rich forever. This idea he put in small little Aladdin's head. So Aladdin, he went down, and what he saw, it was like amazing. He saw gardens, he saw a lot of beautiful trees, and these trees were not just simple trees, but they had this fruits on them. Each tree had a different fruit. One tree had a yellow fruit, another had a white fruit, another had a green fruit, and they look like similar to apples, but it wasn't apples. He came closer to that trees to see what is that exactly, and then he discovered these was like shiny rocks, but actually that was the jewels. Red fruits were rubies, green fruits were emerald, white fruits were diamonds. So all the trees, so he said, I'm going to give a try. Magician earlier, he said, you can take whatever you like. It will not happen anything to you. So he just put in his some pockets and on his belt here, on his waistline, he put those fruits. Let us not forget, he was a super poor guy. He never see in his life jewels. All he know it was gold and silver. So he just grabbed it and put it. He didn't know the value of those jewels. And then as per instruction of magician, he went to the last room, to the last vault, where was an old lamp, and he grabbed the lamp, and he was like, what's this very old lamp and why he needed this one? He questioned himself, Aladdin, why he leaving all this stuff and he's taking this old lamp? He was questioning himself on the way back. When he went up, he asked for help from magician to give his hand so he can pull him up so they will went out. But magician, he refused. He said, give me first the lamp. And then for that, Aladdin, he said, no, I'm not going to give you a lamp. First, you're going to take me. So they argued there a while, and Aladdin, he went crazy and he started to shout, help. And magician, in order to cover that he is a magician and he's scared that somebody caught him up, he spelled it and he let that door lock down. So Aladdin was totally locked under the ground, totally. Aladdin, he got very upset. He stayed there 3 days. He cried. He was without food. He was without light. He was without water even. And he tried to find the place to lay down, and then by mistake he grabbed the ring what earlier magician had given to him. So when he grabbed the ring, on the stone appeared a jinn. Here I had a surprise when I was reading a story that, as we know, we have only one jinn from the lamp, but no, we have a jinn from the ring as well, that magician had given him earlier, right? And then, what is your comment? Come one voice, to Aladdin, and Aladdin, like, he shocked, because, he never heard something like that, and it gives strange noises. And then jinn, he repeat again, what is your command? I'm here to obey you as your slave and the slave of all who wear this ring. So this jinn was a slave of the ring. That jinn, what we know, he was a slave of the lamp. So Aladdin, right now, he has two jinns, one on his hand with the ring and one on his pocket with the lamp, because he didn't pass it. He didn't pass the lamp to the magician, right? And then Aladdin, he was like struck into the silence, and he saw the vision and he saw the jinn, and then he just closed his eyes and he shouted, whatever you are, where you are, doesn't matter, just let me get out from here straight away. And then jinn, he said, of course, and then the jinn take him out. And then he saw himself, Aladdin, flying the way he passed it together with the magician, flying back to his house. He came to his house, then he told all the story to his mom, what happened to him. And even he take out those fruits and show to his mother. His mother also, she's a very poor lady. She doesn't know what kind of fruits it is. They tried to eat, but they was too hard because they were jewels, right? And then he tell all the story that this is not my uncle, this is some kind of magician, because he showed to Aladdin magic, and we should not believe him. And then next day, I'm going to tell this second part, what happened next day. Normally how's the ends of the stories, it was like, but morning gained on Shahrazad and cut her speaking short. The strange story, said her sister. If I live another night, she said, I will tell you the rest. So guys, thank you so much for this 30 minutes. I'm going to continue the story tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and we're going to also have a conclusion about the story. It's a lovely story. Of course, there is a lot of shocking things coming to you. I hope you like it. Subscribe and don't forget like. See you.